Good evening. Welcome to tonight's Village Board meeting. Today is October 16th, 2017. We'll call this meeting to order at 7:33 p.m. Clerk, can you call the roll, please?
Yes, Trustee McGreal?
Here.
Trustee Dalzell?
Here.
Trustee Pierce?
Here.
Trustee Zelinski?
Here.
Trustee Juarez?
Here.
Trustee McLaughlin?
Here.
Mayor Ryan?
Here.
We have a quorum.
Thank you. Please join us for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Okay. Start off with the officer reports, starting with myself. On your agendas this evening, we have number one is the request, should be a request approval for an ordinance of the Village of Alsip authorizing the execution of an intergovernmental agreement with the Village of Oak Lawn to provide emergency dispatch services. Number two would be the request approval for an ordinance of the Village of Alsip authorizing the execution of an intergovernmental agreement allowing for the Village of Alsip's membership and participation in the Oak Lawn Regional Emergency Communications Joint 911 Authority. The third would be the request for an ordinance suspending the operations of the Village of Alsip's Emergency Telephone System Board. Number four, I'm asking for the approval of the appointment of Roger Early as the Village of Alsip Building Commissioner with duties to include Village Property Manager. And the last on the agenda would be the approval of Grace Fuchs as Village of Alsip Planning and Zoning Commission Secretary. This position has been appropriated for in the current budget and has the approval of the Commission Chairman, Stan Graycheck. Also, just a matter of note as well, a couple of quick things here, that based on conversation, board, a couple of things going on here. We did get a notice just a little while ago from the police chief, and again, just to keep the public notified here as well, that the bridge going over Cicero Avenue north and south at the Calisac Channel has been closed for construction. They've been working on this for some time, but that's going to be closed until December 20th. So it's really going to be this is really going to be a problem for everyone, but they do have plenty of signage up to help reroute traffic, and apparently our switchboards today were lighting up pretty well to try and resolve issues in regard to that. The police chief issued a memo to all of us right before the meeting started tonight. The chief said to keep all informed. The bridge closure on Cicero Avenue has caused headaches for everyone. We have done several things to make the neighborhood safer and to reduce the amount of travel down like 131st Street, for example. Regarding public education, notices, signs, social media, etc., have been utilized in getting info out to everyone. They've also worked with Public Works in utilizing some of the additional signage in the area. Public Works and the police have contacted IDOT and requested additional signage, particularly on the detours at 131st Street, because that's not a designated detour route, because that's going to lead you down behind the flea market and so forth. They've also increased their patrol presence in the area of 131st and 128th Place, so everybody's not going through the neighborhoods, because you're not going to get out of there without going into a circle. And last, the chief said they've utilized as many resources as possible to slow the traffic in these areas, including utilizing a speed trailer, because obviously folks are upset. So, Chief, I appreciate the effort. I know I talked to Mike Frater, our Public Works Superintendent, too, and I know you guys have your hands full today with that so far. Anything else, Chief, that we need to tell anybody?
We're doing what we can. We're trying to get some of the lights lengthened at the detour routes to ease traffic congestion, especially around rush hour, but all we can do is ask for it. So.
Great. Board, also, I had, I know this is, again, I'm just going to reiterate what I said last week, is it's just a popular concept right now. There are these video gaming establishments. We actually have this on the agenda for this evening for an adjustment in fees, but I did have two groups I spoke with today that called the Village Hall, and one group is interested in a video gaming cafe at 123rd and Cicero, like near the strip mall, like where the Slightly Sinful and Russo Pizza Supply is at, right in that little strip mall. There was another organization that's at 122nd and Pulaski, near the Pappas Restaurant over there as well. And I just explained to them that we had a couple of applicants last week that might have not have been the best fit, but again, the state is making these tools available to folks to increase their businesses or to at least have a different type of business with regard to cafes. I told both groups that I spoke to today, this is the only way to do this because we don't have any liquor licenses available. If the board chooses to create a liquor license, I'd certainly ask both these groups to come in next month to make a presentation to support what they want, but I'd like to see at least a consensus if anyone's interested in having them come in to make a presentation next month as an indicator to possibly entertain these ideas, because I certainly don't want to waste anybody's time, both on their part or ours for that matter, too. How about this side of the room? How do you feel about it? Interested in having a presentation? Okay. How about this side?
Yeah,
Okay.
they want to come.
That's fine. I'll ask both groups to come into our committee meeting, which will be the second Monday of next month. Come in and speak to the board, make a presentation what they're interested in then, okay? Thanks. Okay, moving along, the clerk's report. Clerk Petzel?
Thank you. I have a request for approval of the minutes of the July 17th, 2017 committee of the whole meeting. Also have request for approval of the minutes of the July 18th committee of the whole meeting. The acceptance of the FOIA report for September 2017. Also, the acceptance of the IDOT motor fuel tax allotment for August 2017 in the amount of $1,147,075.75, and the acceptance of the IDOT motor fuel tax allotment for September 2017 in the amount of $1,184,278.48. That is all, Mayor Ryan.
Thank you. Next, Attorney's report. We have Michael Kankar with us today.
No report, sir.
Thank you. Engineers report.
Just have an update on the, excuse me, the LSU resurfacing project. They finished all the concrete work last week, and they're going to start milling on Wednesday.
We're going to start grinding the asphalt. It looked good out there, Will. I mean, I go through that area all the time and so forth.
Pretty hard, pretty quickly.
Yeah. I've never heard of that company before. They look like they were doing a pretty good job out and stuff, yeah.
Not much restoration needed.
Really? That's great. Public forum. Would anyone like to address the board on anything on our agenda this evening? Sir?
Mayor Ryan, board. My name is Pastor Jimmy Allen Thomas of the New Zion Ministries Church on 122nd and Cicero, and I'm coming to ask the board if they consider modifying a current ordinance. I think it is section 330 regarding LED signs, advertising other businesses not on the premises of the business or the church. That's the reason why I'm here today. Back in, if I may, back in September of last year, our church purchased a LED sign from Stewart Signs for the sole purpose of providing greater awareness of the church on the corner, with the church being set back so far from the street, the amount of traffic and the speed of the traffic. A lot of times people have difficulty finding our church, so we purchased the LED sign. So it provides us an opportunity to advertise and to let the community be aware of the various services that we are providing. But we also wanted the sign not only to be a church sign, but to be a community sign, whereby we would offer opportunities to some of the local community organizations and small businesses to advertise on the sign as well. The sign was installed in February, and we did have one business advertised on the sign. We did receive a call from the village indicating that we were breaking an ordinance. And so I did approach the mayor, and he advised that we would come to this meeting to ask the board if they would consider modifying the ordinance.
Oh, I appreciate that, Pastor. And as Pastor Thomas said, Pastor, when you and I talked a month or so ago about this, someone had called in, and just to clarify what the pastor's saying is, with billboards, we have an ordinance that says you're not supposed to advertise for third-party businesses and so forth. So, and like you said, you can even use it for community events and whatnot, but it's really supposed to be designated for just your signage. And that's what the pastor is asking us, if we would consider modifying our current ordinance to allow he or any business for that matter, if you've got a billboard on your property, to allow other people to advertise on that billboard. And like you said, at the same time, Pastor, we can still use it for community interest as well. You're located right in the corner of 122nd and Cicero.
Yes, sir.
And as I said, obviously this would be an amendment to the current ordinance, this is where the board comes into play if they wish to entertain that effort then too. So that said, an evening like this where we make a public forum, Pastor, just so you understand, I appreciate you coming in too, Pastor, because I know we were going to talk to you maybe last month or something like that, so that's fine. But I appreciate you coming in. What I'd ask is, Trustee Pierce, you're the chair of ordinance legislation. Could you have a discussion on this, maybe start at next month's meeting to see if we can talk about that?
Sure. Mayor, can I just ask you a
Sure.
question? I just, address you here. I just, so I'm clear on this, the LED sign ordinance says he can have it, but he just can't sell ad space on it. So is that what he's asking to do?
I thought the way I read that, Trustee, and I apologize, I don't have it in front of me right now.
I
Go
do,
ahead.
sir. It's LED-type signs shall be permitted in the business district, provided that they do not advertise any businesses that are not located on the property. The LED portion of the sign shall not exceed 50 square feet in area.
Well, that's what he's asking, is because he's asking, let's say if he had a parishioner or something like that wanted to advertise his business on that sign,
Can't do
that's
that.
what he's asking, if we would allow that to happen. It's his sign, and he's asking if he could be allowed, or any business for that matter, if we'd allow them to advertise for a third party on that sign.
And again, Mr. Mayor and Board, our purpose is to really try to advertise local businesses within the village of Alsip, as well as with activities that are taking place at the church.
Absolutely, Pastor, and I appreciate that too. If somebody has a point of interest that they'd like to utilize your sign for, that's the purpose of that, yeah, too. So that's what he's asking for, Board. And again, Pastor, usually discussions like that, like not necessarily at board meetings like this, because it's not necessarily even on the agenda. We're not prepared to have that discussion right now, but certainly, like I said, and we've got committee meetings the second Monday of every month. I'd ask ordinance legislation to take that under and look that over, okay?
All right, thank you.
Pastor Thomas, could you please sign in for me?
There's a sign-in sheet.
Thank you so much.
Anyone else? Okay, thank you. Moving along, standing committees, Finance Committee, Trustee McLaughlin.
I have a request for approval of payroll dated October 13th, 2017, totaling $407,303.92. I also have request for approval of accounts payable dated October 16th, 2017. In recap, that would be $285,203.97 from the corporate fund, $37,128.16 for Road and Bridge, $5,560.44 for MFT, $6,494.72 in the 911 fund, $5,904.88 in the 123rd and Pulaski TIF, $8,575 in the Pulaski Corridor TIF, $126,913.92 in Waterworks, $84,078.86 in Heritage 2, for a grand total of all funds of $559,859.95. I also have a request for approval to engage with GovTemps USA to supply temporary staffing for the Human Resources Manager position until a permanent replacement is filled. I have a request for approval of a salary ordinance amendment for the Public Works Superintendent, Water Commissioner, and Building Commissioner. I have a request for approval of a resolution declaring a surplus in TIF 1 in the amount of $603,054.29. And the Finance Director would like to give us a sales tax update.
Hi. The new 2% home rule sales tax administrative fee has hit for the July liability month, otherwise known as either the August collection month or the October distribution month. We were charged with $4,320.15 this month, annualized at $51,841.80. Representative DeLuca has filed House Bill 4101 to cut this fee in half, but this is a new law that came out, and we've finally been charged it for the first month, and then just wanted to report on that.
So it's a new $4,800 that's out? Is that what this?
Yeah, we talked about it in the budget hearings, but when the state made their budgets, one of the things they did is said that for the locally collected tax, which just means the home rule only, not the underlying sales tax, there's a 2% annual fee.
Okay.
So the first time it hit, because of the delay between the liability, then they get a month to file, then there's 2 months before it gets to us. It just hit this last week is the first time it's hit. And it's going to be from here on out unless DeLuca's bill cuts it in half.
Thank you.
Is that it?
That's all under
Okay.
finance, yes.
Thank you. Fire Committee, Trustee McLaughlin?
Okay, I'd like to start with the September activity report. In recap, we had a grand total of 3 structure fires, no vehicle fires, 1 other fire for a grand total, all fires of 4. We had 188 emergency medical treatment calls, 7 hazardous condition calls, 12 service calls, 19 good intent calls, and 1 special incident call, along with 37 false calls, for a grand total all calls of 268. Also, on behalf of the chief, I would like to extend thanks to everyone who helped make this year's open house, held on Saturday, October 7th, a great success. The vendors that participated and made donations in that event include McDonald's, White Castle, Burger King, Accord Carton, State Farm, the Alsip Park District, Sprinkler Fitters, NIF SAB, Reliable Fire, the Oak Lawn Fire Department, Trinity College, Walgreens, Metro South, Superior Medical Helicopter, Cairo 1, Nicor Gas, Bakery Arizita, Serve Pro, Taylor Candy, Coca-Cola, Monster Truck, Illinois Fire Safety Alliance, Face Painting, Public Works, Photo Booth, the Alsip Police Department, Doubletree Hotel, Mayor Ryan, Clerk Petzel, Fran Hurley, Lane School, and Local 3074.
Very good. That was a great event.
And that's all I have.
Thank you. Next, police report. Trustee McGrill?
I have acceptance of a list of bills and timesheets and acceptance of the September monthly report for approval. And number 4, I'm going to ask to table that until the next regular board meeting. It's for further information. It's letter N on the consent agenda. And lastly, a request for approval for the range filter hazmat disposal due to the range fire that would be to be reimbursed by the insurance company. That's all that I have.
Again, so all departments know as well, too, the trustee just brought up, we are working on our claim with the insurance company from that fire we had in the fire, in the police station rather, back in June. We should have that resolved shortly so we can get the place put back together yet, too. So there was a lot of bills and obviously a lot of different equipments that need to be covered, and we're just about there. Next report was the Public Works Committee. Trustee Juarez.
I have an acceptance of a list of bills and timesheets, approval to purchase 4 new overhead garage motor operators in the amount of $11,088. Also, the Public Works Department wants to remind the board that the boat launch will be closing for the season on November 1st. Public Works will perform an inspection of the facility and the docks before closing, making repairs if they are necessary. In addition, the water will be shut off in the facility, and all plumbing will be winterized to prevent freezing. If you have any questions, you can contact Mike Prater.
Mike, can I ask you, with that barge that's being tied off down there for the construction, are they still going to be using that, obviously?
Yeah, they said that they'll be utilizing that for the duration of the project.
Okay. So we're not necessarily locking our gate yet or anything like that. Somebody told me, too, I didn't see the picture. Did somebody crash into our gate over there?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Probably a truck turning around.
Gotcha. Okay. Somebody told me it got bent. That's a big steel gate yet, too, so, okay. Next, letter E, the Building Committee, Trustee Zelinski.
Yes, Mayor, I have a list of bills and timesheets, also the acceptance of the September monthly report. Number 4, approval for temporary ground signs from the Alsip Chamber of Commerce for their chamber auction on October 10th, 2017, and their craft show on October 21st, 2017. I believe this type of thing was taken away from the board. We don't have to accept those any longer.
Right, exactly. We talked with our village attorney, and signage from now on will be through the approval of our building department with the mayor's approval.
Also, approval for Stony Creek School to have their vendor fair on December 2nd, 2017. Also, approval to give Yaffa Auto, located at 12400 South Cicero Avenue, a grace period of 270 days, equal to 9 months, to pave their rear parking lot. There will be a rider attached to their business license stating that if they do not have the paving done within 270 days, their license will be pulled. This is according to Municipal Code Section 17-9 that states that they must have a parking lot paved prior to getting the business license. Also, approval for a block party for residents at 12242 South Lawndale Avenue on Saturday, October 21st, from 2017, from 10 a.m. to 12 midnight. Also, we have a request from Roger Early in the building department, looking for board approval for the lease of a Canon printer from Proven at a cost of $318.76 a month. This would be a 5-year lease of a copier, scanner, and plotter, which can be used to scan all the blueprints that are stored in the old village garage. He spoke to Water Department and Public Works Department and the Fire Department. All 3 departments would be able to utilize this machine. He also spoke with Danny Trivan and would like to split the cost of the lease over the 5 years. And they've decided to proceed with this since the departments would use, his department would use it the most. The cost covers the lease, training, and maintenance of the machine. That's all I have.
I was just going to say, Raj, we were talking right before the meeting, trustee. You know what, can we table that? Or that's not even on the agenda,
It's not
but
on the
that was a
agenda.
consensus item. But let's have a discussion at committee on that coming up, because there might be a savings to a purchase here in this case. We're going to look at this. Although it's an agreement, we want to look at both sides of the coin before we make a decision on that.
Okay.
Although that lease does have a maintenance agreement built into it, that's included. We just, because we don't have anything on a purchase, we want to just double check and look at both, that's all.
Okay. That's all I have.
Okay. Next, letter F, Water and Sewer Committee, Trustee Dalzell.
The acceptance of the list of bills, timesheets, and the September monthly activity report. That's all I have.
Great, thank you. License Committee, Trustee Juarez.
On acceptance of list of licenses dated October 3rd through the 5th, 2017.
Thank you. Next, Economic Development, Trustee Pierce.
Acceptance of the September monthly report and approval for Pulaski Corridor TIF funding for the facade improvements by Affiliated Realty Management for the property at 122.1 to 122.17 South Pulaski Road at the cost of $187,495. $187,495. That's all I have, Mayor.
Thank you. And then, Mike, did you say did we need an ordinance for that too? Is that what you're looking
Well,
at?
yeah, the property manager gave me you're requesting an ordinance to be drawn up for that? Okay, so we'll have that for the next meeting.
Okay, so the village attorney will get us an ordinance for that, what we just approved yet today then too, so, okay. Next, Planning and Zoning, Trustee Zelinski.
No report this evening?
Special Committee Reports, Village Properties, Trustee McGlohorn.
At this time, both the pools at Heritage 1 and Heritage 2 are closed. Anything else? Nope, that's it.
Insurance Committee, Trustee McGrail.
Just a reminder that the wellness program and the health screenings program is all set to start on October 31st, including the flu shots. And information went out to everyone. That's all that I have.
That's October 31st, you said?
Correct.
Okay. Ordinance legislation, Trustee Pierce.
Approval to increase the per-machine gaming license to $500 effective immediately for all new machines in January 1, 2018 for expiring licenses on existing machines. I guess this is kind of out of order, so I'm going to refer this to licensing first.
Okay. And then I actually spoke with the attorney right before we started. We're going to need an ordinance for that as well, too. So with board direction, we're going to have the attorney draft an ordinance to reflect this. We'll approve it at the next meeting then, too, okay? Okay. IT, Trustee Dalzell.
No report, Mayor.
Human Resources, Trustee McGrail.
Just information that the Human Resource Committee will be having a meeting this Thursday, October 19th at 6 p.m.
Thank you. Next, Health and Pollution, Trustee Pierce.
No report, Mayor.
No. Traffic Safety, Trustee Dalzell.
No report, Mayor.
Any presentations, petitions, or communications? I had a couple of quickies. First, really happy with the progress over at the new Checkers restaurant. I tell you, every time I go over there, there's a line around the building over there and so forth. So it's good to see those folks off and running after reestablishing that business over there then, too. Obviously, we talked about the bridge being closed and the gaming cafe, so that's all I had. Trustees, would you like to remove any items from the consent agenda?
Is item Q off there because it was no longer required of the board?
You know what? We could remove that, and as I mentioned earlier, for now, there will be an administrative task from now on between the building department and the mayor's office to take responsibility for ground signs.
And then, I know that we discussed the gaming license, and it's on the agenda. Everything seems to be in order, and it was already discussed. The only thing we need is just the ordinance drafted, so why is it we can't approve this evening? Just have the attorney...
Because you're amending the village, the fee is already prescribed in the village code. So to amend the village code, you need an ordinance.
Okay, but we can't authorize this then direct...
Yeah, no, I'll have for the next meeting.
Okay.
You can approve it this evening. It just, we'll have an official amendment at the next meeting.
And then, can we have discussion on the item M?
Sure.
Or should we just pull it and then discuss that?
I mean,
Or we do that?
Why don't we pull it and have a discussion then?
Thank you.
And also on I and L, I was going to say I, L, and M, and N was tabled.
I, L, and we just tabled M, or we pulled M as well.
And, one more, where's my license? Oh, and you, Mayor.
Well, we can approve the increase, but then it has to go to ordinance, or do you want it removed?
It doesn't make a difference. I mean, it isn't effective until we adopt the ordinance.
I understand. The mayor pointed out last week that we should have taken this through licensing, since it's a license increase. Does that matter?
What do you feel, Mike?
No, there's no specific that sort of protocol doesn't mean the ordinance is valid or invalid or anything like that. That's just the way you do the business. So no, you don't need that.
Okay.
So we're okay.
Okay.
Approving
Whether
this
it
the way
should have
it
gone through
stands.
the license committee to discuss, no, that's the procedure, but doesn't really affect anything legally once you adopt the ordinance.
Okay.
So we'll leave you on.
Leave you on?
Okay.
Unless someone else wants
Okay, so it was, we pulled I, L, M,
N was tabled. by
N was
trustee
tabled by
Burrell.
the committee, and we're just removing Q. That's unnecessary to vote on.
So Q is stricken.
Do you want to fill in your information then, too?
We need a motion to,
Oh, motion to establish the consent agenda?
That's next, number 9. Thank you.
do I have a second?
I second.
Roll call number 1 to establish the consent agenda. Letter C will now read approval of the list of payroll dated October 13th, 2017, totaling $407,303.92. Letter D shall read approval of a list of accounts payable dated October 16th, 2017, totaling $559,859.95. Letter F would now be known as ordinance number 2017-10-1. Letter G will now be known as 2017-10-2. H will now be known as 2017-10-3. J will now be known as resolution number 2017-8-R-1. And letter T is approval of the Pulaski Corridor TIF funding for facade improvements by Affiliated Realty Management for the property at 1221.
12221.
It's
Three
missing a
twos?
two.
That's in a 2.
12221
That would be a long.
to 12217 South Pulaski Road at a cost of $187,495. Trustee McGreal.
I'm sorry, for item J, shouldn't that resolution be 10-R-1?
Because we're establishing the agenda.
You are correct, I'm sorry. Letter J will be resolution number 2017-10-R-1.
Thank you.
Thank you, Trustee Dalzell. Trustee McGreal.
Hold on a
Yes.
second. We have a motion to approve the consent agenda, right?
This is a motion to establish.
We're on establish still.
Okay, thank you.
Motion to establish the consent agenda as presented. Trustee McGreal.
Yes.
Trustee Dalzell.
Yes.
Trustee Pierce.
Yes.
Trustee Zelinski.
Yes.
Trustee Juarez.
Yes.
Trustee McLaughlin.
Yes.
Motion carries to establish the consent agenda.
Yep. Motion to approve the consent agenda as presented?
I'll second.
Roll call number 2 to approve the consent agenda as presented. Trustee McGreal.
Yes.
Trustee Dalzell.
Yes.
Trustee Pierce.
Yes.
Trustee Zelinski.
Yes.
Trustee Juarez.
Yes.
Trustee McLaughlin.
Yes.
Motion carries.
We'll go back to the items that were pulled. Letter I was the approval of a salary ordinance amendment for Public Works Superintendent, Water Commissioner, and Building Commissioner. That was pulled by Trustee McGrill.
Yes, I'm here. I have no problem with that at all. I just wanted to know if you're going to be making appointments, like you're making the appointment for building commissioner, are you going to be making an appointment for the water commissioner and superintendent of public works, since we're doing these new salary ordinances?
Not at this time. I suppose we could, but they're certainly, they're carryovers from the previous administration. We still acknowledge them as regular employees here. We can certainly visit that. I don't have it prepared for this evening, so no, I'm not doing that tonight. So
No, but will you be doing that soon, I hope?
Sure.
Thank you.
So we need a motion.
I'll make the motion.
I'll second it.
Motion to approve letter I, approval of a salary ordinance amendment for Public Works Superintendent, Water Commissioner, and Building Commissioner. Do I wait till it passes to fill in the ordinance number?
No, you can.
Okay. Ordinance number 2017-10-4. Trustee McGrill.
Yes?
Trustee Dalzell.
Yes.
Trustee Pierce.
Yes.
Trustee Zelinski.
Yes.
Trustee Juarez.
Yes.
Trustee McLaughlin.
Yes.
Motion carries to approve letter I.
And actually, Trustee, I did just make the appointment of the building commissioner on this agenda as well, too, so that was taken care of today.
Right, I mentioned that.
Okay.
That you did that one, and I was wondering about the other two.
Right. Next, letter L, the approval of Grace Fuchs as the Village of Alsip Planning and Zoning Commission Secretary. This position has been appropriated for in the current budget and has the approval of the Commission Chairman, Stan Graycheck. Trustee McGrill?
Yes, Mayor, I just wanted a little discussion. I know that the Planning and Zoning has been without a secretary for a long time. This wasn't on the agenda last week, on the committee agenda, and I just was wondering if it's been posted and how this was decided so quickly.
This has not been posted. This is a position that the mayor can appoint, and this is basically, as far as meetings are concerned, it's basically an at-will position. This position only meets when there's a need for a planning and zoning meeting. They meet twice a month on the second and fourth Wednesdays of each month, should there be a need, and this position pays $12.50 an hour.
Right.
Right.
But it wasn't posted?
No, it was not. Much like the, I'll give you a good example, like the part-time plumbing inspector, that wasn't posted here, because again, that's as needed. You know, sometimes you may not work.
But I think other people should have an opportunity, and it should be posted so other people know that it exists. I mean, it didn't even go to Planning and Zoning Commission.
I spoke with it. I wouldn't put the commissioner's name on here, Trustee, if I didn't speak to him. I did.
The
speak
committee,
to,
the committee.
To the commission chairman.
Planning and
I spoke
Zoning
with.
Committee.
This is for the commission, not the committee. It's for the commission.
I know what it's for, but the committee should know about it.
So again, this is a mayor's appointment at this position, and the commission chairman, Stan Graycheck, has told me many a times, this has actually been a busy committee lately, and he does need some help in that department. So, but as Trustee Zelinski will tell you, he was on the commission last year. How many meetings did you have last year, Trustee?
I think we had 3 or 4.
That's what I'm saying, 3 or 4 for the entire
Right.
year. There's not going to be a lot of application for that, as much like I said, with the part-time plumbing inspector we took on recently, we didn't post for that as well.
Yeah, I
So we
was
do
just
have a
wondering if the
qualified
board.
candidate.
Well, I just think that the board should know when we need some more help, and which it should be open or at least announced that we're looking. It's just my opinion.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Can I get a motion to approve the appointment of the secretary for the Planning and Zoning, question again, approval of Grace Fuchs as the Village of Alsip Planning and Zoning Commission Secretary. This position has been appropriated for in the current budget and has the approval of the Commission Chairman, Stan Graycheck.
Mayor, I'll make that motion.
I'll second.
Thank you.
Roll call number 4 to approve Grace Fuchs as a Village of Alsip Planning and Zoning Commission Secretary. Trustee McGrill.
No.
Trustee Dalzell.
Yes.
Trustee Pierce.
Yes.
Trustee Zelinski.
Yes.
Trustee Juarez.
No.
Trustee McLaughlin.
Yes.
Motion carries.
Thank you. Next, letter M, approval to engage with GovTemps USA to supply temporary staffing for the Human Resource Manager position until a permanent replacement can be filled. That was Trustee Dalzell.
Mayor, I just, in reviewing the contract that's been proposed, the 40% fee that's added on to those salaries, they give salary range between $56 an hour and $77 an hour. That equates to over $116,000 on an annual, of which this will receive $46,592 if it was to go for a year, to the high range of $160,160. Their commission on this would be $64,000 and change. It just seems to me to be an exorbitant sum of money.
Great point, Trustee. And actually, I did get an application right before this evening's meeting, and the applicant, very well qualified, and just so the board has an idea for cost on this, the applicant actually came in a little bit lower than what GovTemps had stated. They would actually come in at $50 an hour, and with the 40% increase, which is roughly $20, you'd be spending roughly $70 an hour for that temporary position, as opposed to our current person that's in that position, including benefits, is approximately $65 an hour. So it's about $5 an hour more than what we spend right now.
Mayor, what is pressing that this can't be referred to committee and a search put out there? Why do we need this temp?
Well, committee wants to get together Thursday, apparently, but we wouldn't have another board meeting for another 3 weeks.
We can set a special committee meeting. We can set a special meeting.
So, that in mind, we have an opportunity before, and just unfortunately, folks, our Human Resource Manager is taking a position elsewhere, so we need, I felt it was in our best interest to have a temporary in there, whereas at least if we brought a temporary in this week for 1 or 2 meetings with her, she'd have, or he, whoever this person seems to be, would have an opportunity to meet with our current person to get them up to speed on what's going on. Otherwise, this would be more of a process. Should we delay this action?
We've, unfortunately, we lived through this scenario twice already.
And we came out okay?
And we had no temps. We aggressively went out to look for a qualified candidate, and that's what I think we should do. I'd like to refer this to the committee meeting, which is scheduled for Thursday, to address this. So I'd like to make a motion to refer this to committee.
I'll second.
Roll call number 5 to refer letter M, approval to engage GovTemp USA to supply temporary staffing for the Human Resource Manager position until the permanent replacement is filled, to committee. Trustee McGrill.
Yes.
Trustee Dalzell.
Yes.
Trustee Pierce.
Yes.
Trustee Zelinski.
Yes.
Trustee Juarez.
Yes.
Trustee McLaughlin.
No.
Motion carries to refer to committee.
So that cleared up all the consent agenda. Next would be the,
We have to table in.
and we tabled that.
Correct.
Do we vote today?
And Q's been removed?
Right.
Okay, sorry.
So any unfinished business?
Was there a roll call to table that? I don't remember that.
I don't think we have to.
Pardon me?
Do we have to have a roll call to table?
You just removed it, right?
Just remove it.
Oh, you
Right.
removed
but
it?
yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, I'm sorry, trustee, we just removed that as well.
Okay, I
Yeah.
had it as table.
Well, we
Sorry.
tabled in.
Oh, I apologize. We did table
tabled
N.
N.
The committee tabled N originally. They took it off when we started the meeting. So Yeah, so we can take a vote on that, just to clarify that. So just a motion and a second to table letter N, that's the approval to post for a vacant full-time police department clerical position.
I'll make the motion.
I'll second.
Roll call number 6 to table and approval to post a vacant full-time police department clerical position. Trustee McGrill.
Yes.
Trustee Dalzell.
Yes.
Trustee Pierce.
Yes.
Trustee Zelinski.
Yes.
Trustee Juarez.
Yes.
Trustee McLaughlin.
Yes.
Motion carries to table.
Okay, so I'd asked, any unfinished business? Any new business? We need to have an executive session.
I would like to remove that, Mayor.
You don't need that now?
No.
I actually do. I was going to piggyback on what you were going to talk about.
Okay,
so,
then.
Okay. And we can actually adjourn from here. There won't be anything else voted on this evening, but we can adjourn from here and into closed session. Can I ask someone to call for a closed session, please?
For what purpose? You have to say what purpose.
I can read into it. Closed session to discuss the employment, compensation, discipline, performance, or dismissal of specific employees of the public body or legal counsel for the public body, including hearing testimony on a complaint lodged against an employee of the public body or against counsel of the public body to determine its validity pursuant to 5 ILCS 120/2C1. Can I get a second?
Second.
I'm sorry, who was the first?
I'm sorry, I need a motion because I read it into the letter. I need a motion first. That's why I was asking
I'll
before.
make the motion.
Yeah,
I'm sorry, Trustee Pierce, that's you?
yes.
And then I'll second.
Thank you, Trustee McLaughlin. Roll call number 7 to adjourn to executive session. Trustee McGrill.
Yes.
Trustee Dalzell.
Yes.
Trustee Pierce.
Yes.
Trustee Zelinski.
Yes.
Trustee Juarez.
Yes.
Trustee McLaughlin.
Yes.
Motion carries to adjourn to executive session.
Thank you. That'll conclude our business for this evening, folks. Nothing else to be voted on. Thank you for joining us tonight. We'll adjourn this meeting at
8:19 p.m.
yeah.